my lyrics, but that's the sort of gist of it, you know. It's a fairy tale. So that's all very sort of groovy, and I'd sort of recommend doing that when you're very, very chilled out listening to this track. And so we go into Man of Sorrows. Now, Man of Sorrows was written for a movie. A movie was called The Chemical Wedding. Hasn't been made yet, and we're still fluffing around, flailing around, trying to find money to make the thing. But way back when, this was going to be the title track to the movie, and the demo was done in a very sort of gothic style, much more gothic than when we recorded the track for Accident of Birth, and was actually engineered by a chap called Andre Jacquemin, who's the sound engineer that does all the Monty Python stuff, and is actually a very highly regarded international TV and film sound producer. Yannick came in and played guitar on it, and the drums unfortunately are a drum machine, but you can tell that when you listen to it. But otherwise it's quite an interesting sort of rendition of the track. It just gives it a different vibe, and it's a bit more gothic, a bit more over the top, a bit more melodramatic, I suppose, if you like. Which brings us back to the Ballad of Mutt, which is a complete change, because Ballad of Mutt is not to be taken particularly seriously at all. It's a tale of outright misogyny and deeply politically incorrect, and long may it remain so, but it's not really to be taken seriously. It's a bit of a laugh, and if you're wondering what the effect is on my voice, as several people have asked, there is no effect. It's just me talking a little bit like this all the time when I sing, a little bit like ZZ Top. And people sort of go, oh, what is that effect? It's just you sort of sticking two fingers down your throat, basically. And so we move on to the Skunk Works era, where we got issued with instructions to go in and record some B-sides. We didn't have any, so we wrote a load on the spot. I think everybody was having a little bit of a Led Zeppelin moment at the time. So we came up with this track, which was called Re-Entry, I believe, at the time. All very spacey and cosmic-y, and lots of mandolins and jangly guitars and stuff. And it's quite nice. I mean, I think when we came to master it, we discovered that the levels were a bit all over the place, and we could really have done a much better job mixing it. But then we did only have one afternoon in which to write, record, and mix 4 songs. So it's not really surprising, but it still hangs up. I quite like it. Then we have I'm in a Band with an Italian Drummer. Well, that's the same story as Re-Entry. Same sessions, a B-side that we put together. It's actually very funny. I mean, full on, Frank Zappa rip-offs. We really did have an Italian drummer, and he really did sound like that. And that's him talking in Italian at the end. I don't know what he says, but I think it's very, very rude, probably. However, I'm sure Italians all over the place will tell me. I hope nobody takes offence. Well, actually, I hope they do, really. Then we have a live version of Jerusalem. I think we only ever played this track 2 or 3 times, and on this particular occasion we managed to record it at the same sessions as the Scream For Me Brazil live album. Didn't have physically time on the CD to put this track on, so here it is. And finally, the last track, I decided to try and do something to make up for the fact that I couldn't find this lost track off the Keith Olsen sessions. So I dug out from the depths of a cassette that was done let me think, 20 odd years ago. I think it was done in 1977, perhaps. This cassette was recorded. This is the very first thing that I ever recorded at all. I answered an advert in the Melody Maker saying somebody needs a singer to finish a project, and I thought, I was a impoverished student at the time, never been near a recording studio, and I thought, oh wow, this is my chance to try and get myself a freebie demo tape that I can go and get myself singing in a few more salubrious places with. And it turned out I met these 2 brothers, bass player and drummer, that had recorded the track, and one of them was an engineer, and we went in and just did this. And all the vocals on it are mine. I mean, I'd never done any overdubbing or harmonies or anything, so we just spent an evening recording this song, which was called Dracula. and it's an interesting sort of piece of fun, really. I thought it might be interesting for people to hear just what singers' very, very first efforts in the studio might be like. Not because I think it's absolutely wonderful or anything, but because some of the flaws in it are nice to listen to, because I hope that it gives other people a chance to listen to their first efforts and go, "Well, corn, blimey, mine was better than that," But it's an interesting little thing, and I thought people might like it. And I was quite surprised. Apart from the fact that the cassette promptly disintegrated as soon as we tried to play it, and I had to put it back together with sticky tape and screwdrivers, which was a bit of a moment. It's actually held up rather well in the mastering process. So that was Dracula. And as an aside, the band that played on that, or the bass player and drummer that played on that, we subsequently put a band together. That band became Shots, and that was the band that I was playing in when Paul Sampson came to see me and gave me the job in Samson, and so on and so forth, as per the biography, which you probably have all obtained by now from years ago. Anyway, that's it. Bye for now. Have fun, and I'll see you somewhere down the road, probably with Iron Maiden, I imagine. Bye.